Hey there, welcome. Let's talk about a universal human ache, the feeling of not being valued. That sting of criticism, the weight of indifference, the slow erosion of your spirit when your efforts seem to go unnoticed. What if the secret to overcoming this doesn't lie in changing others, but in a profound journey inward? This is the timeless wisdom of Carl Jung. His psychology isn't just a theory. It's a practical map to self-actualization and inner wholeness. This is a conversation about how to stop seeking validation from a world that often withholds it and start building an unshakable sense of self-worth from within. Let's begin. Part 1. How to stop seeking approval and find authentic self-worth. We all wear a mask. Jung called this the persona, the version of ourselves we present to fit in and be accepted. It's a necessary social tool. But the trap springs when we confuse the mask for our true face. When our sense of value becomes dependent on the applause of our audience, we hand over the keys to our own psyche. This creates a psychological dependency. We become actors, constantly tweaking our performance for a reward that never truly satisfies. The tragedy is that the more we perform, the more we lose touch with our authentic self. True freedom begins when we have the courage to step off the stage. The evaluation of others is never an absolute measure of your worth. It's a reflection of their tastes, moods, and unresolved issues. If someone doesn't appreciate you, it's data about them, not a verdict on you. The first step is to learn objective self-assessment. When criticism comes, ask, does this resonate with my inner truth? Instead of what's wrong with me. Jung taught that personality development happens by discovering your inner world and remaining loyal to your essence. Learning to feel valuable without external applause is the foundation of spiritual integrity. Your worth is not up for debate. It's your birthright. Part 2. Shadow work for emotional resilience. Integrating your dark side. Why does criticism sometimes feel like a knife twist? It's often because it's touching a wound we already carry. Jung's revolutionary concept of the shadow explains this. The shadow is the part of our psyche where we lock away everything we deem unacceptable, our anger, jealousy, neediness, fears of inadequacy. We hide these parts to fit in, but they don't disappear. They fester in the unconscious, influencing our lives in ways we don't understand, causing sudden outbursts, unexplained anxieties, and that deep-seated feeling of being an imposter. That intense reaction to being undervalued. It's often your shadow knocking. The critic's voice outside echoes the critic you've locked inside. Shadow work isn't about becoming dark. It's about bringing light to the darkness. It's the essential process of integrating your shadow to achieve psychological wholeness. Ask yourself, where does my deep need for approval come from? Was I undervalued in the past? When you consciously acknowledge these wounded parts, you drain the power from external criticism. You realize the sting was often the resonance of an unhealed wound. By accepting your whole self, light and dark, you build profound emotional resilience. You no longer need others to validate the parts of yourself you've already embraced. Part 3. Dealing with criticism and projection. How to stop taking things personally. Now, let's talk about the critics themselves. Why are some people so negative? Jung gives us a powerful lens, projection. This is a defense mechanism where people disown the uncomfortable parts of themselves, their shadow, and project them onto others. The person who constantly criticizes you for being incompetent might be projecting their own deep-seated fear of failure. Their lack of appreciation is often a reflection of their own internal conflicts and feelings of inferiority, not your actual value. Therefore, the key to dealing with criticism is to see it for what it often is, someone else's movie being projected onto your screen. Your power lies in choosing not to star in it. Before internalizing a negative comment, ask, is this actually true for me, or is this their stuff? When you learn to detach in this way, criticism loses its destructive power. You understand that how people treat you says more about their psychological state than your worth. Setting boundaries against this negativity is an act of self-respect. You stop handing your power over to others and take back control of your own narrative. Part 4. Building inner authority and trusting your intuition. So, how do we practically build this inner foundation? Through what Jung called individuation, the process of becoming your true, whole self. The heart of this journey is building a strong inner authority. We live in a world of loud external authorities, social media, cultural norms, bosses, family expectations. If we constantly outsource our decisions to these voices, our inner compass weakens. Strengthening your inner authority means getting crystal clear on who you are, what you value, and what you want your life to be about. It's about learning to trust your intuition and your own inner guidance system. When you have this inner stability, external opinions become mere information, not directives. Someone's disapproval becomes their perspective, not your failure. Cultivate this by spending time in reflection. Listen to that quiet inner voice. Journal. Meditate. The goal is to reach a point where your self-esteem is sourced from your own consciousness, not the eyes of others. This is the essence of psychological maturity. Part 5. The power of self-validation and building confidence. From this place of inner authority, a beautiful shift happens. You learn the art of self-validation. Jungian self-actualization means becoming independent of external approval mechanisms. It's about being the one who acknowledges your own efforts and celebrates your own progress. External praise is fickle. If your motivation depends on it, you will be on an emotional roller coaster. But when you can appreciate your own achievements, big or small, you build genuine, lasting self-confidence. Make it a practice to recognize your own growth. Did you handle a difficult situation with grace? Did you complete a challenging task? Acknowledge it. Your inner dialogue is critical. Replace a critical inner voice with a supportive one. This isn't arrogance. It's stewardship of your own spirit. By becoming your own source of validation, you build an engine of motivation that no one can turn off. Part 6. Setting boundaries with toxic people and curating your energy. As your self-worth grows, you'll naturally make different choices about your environment. Setting boundaries is a non-negotiable part of psychological health. Jung emphasized the need to consciously choose our relationships for our own spiritual development. Some people drain your energy, others replenish it. Toxic relationships are those where you are consistently devalued. It's crucial to ask, why do I allow people who don't devalue me to take up so much space in my life? The answer often lies in those old patterns and unhealed shadows. Curating your social energy is an act of self-preservation. It means consciously directing your time and effort toward people who support, appreciate, and inspire you. This isn't about building an echo chamber. It's about choosing a tribe that reflects the value you now see in yourself. Protecting your energy allows you to thrive. Part 7. Finding your life purpose and living a meaningful life. Ultimately, this entire journey culminates in one thing: finding your purpose. Jung believed that true satisfaction comes from dedicating your life to what is inherently meaningful to you. When you are aligned with your life purpose, the need for external validation fades into the background. Your work, your passions, your contributions, their value comes from the intrinsic meaning they hold for you, not from the praise they might generate. This creates an unwavering personal resilience. The opinions of others, whether positive or negative, become secondary to your commitment to your own path. This is the ultimate freedom promised by Jungian psychology. It's the journey from seeking light in external places to becoming a source of your own unshakable light. It's about moving from being a performer on a stage to being the author of your own meaningful story. Conclusion. This path of individuation and personal growth is a practice, not a destination. It's about returning, again and again, to the truth of your own worth. By understanding these Jungian principles, the persona, the shadow, projection, and individuation, you equip yourself to build a life of authentic confidence, resilient peace, and profound meaning. The goal isn't to become someone who is never hurt. The goal is to become so rooted in your own value that the hurt no longer defines you. The goal is to become, truly and unshakably, yourself.